We're going to walk through the basics of being able to size or scale, move, rotate, and mirror image a design. So for starters, let's just go ahead. I just pulled up a design that was not symmetrical, so it's real easy to see as we change it. First off, mirror image right here on the side. So if you want it flipped right or left, or up or down, or a combination of both, you can get exactly what you want with just a touch of the button. I love that you're able to see on screen exactly what you're going to get. So mirror image. Down here with Alt, what we have is 4 options here. For the first one, that is selected. Notice that's the picture, the small little northeast, southwest. That's for moving. So right now when I touch it, or I use the arrows left or right here, I'm moving it little increments just so you can nudge it in position or just move it up just a little bit more. That's how you can do it. But you can get it all the way kind of moved quickly by just touching and dragging it to the area you want to be. You want to get back to the middle of your hoop, touch this function with the plus in the middle of the hoop. And it brings you back to 0 by 0 there. Speaking of moving, let's say you want this in the top corner. Instead of trying to figure out, oh, am I in, am I out, and trying to get it right there, all you need to do is slide the whole entire design outside the hoop area. And notice this new function that comes in. It is called a move to hoop function. So as soon as you touch it, it will bounce the design exactly in the closest position that'll embroider inside that hoop. I love that feature. If you just slide it outside the hoop on a side or up or down, it will bump it just to the inside of the edge of the hoop. But again, if you go to the corner and touch it, you get right to the corner, left and up and down. Love it. Okay, back to the center. That's for moving it. Let's touch Alt. The next one is rotation. So when you touch this, you have the new rotation symbol. So now when you touch the design, instead of moving it, it's going to rotate. You have 1 degree rotation. I'll show you right here. And you can use your arrows left or right to kind of go up increments little at a time. So notice, let's take it back to 0. Notice you also get a 90-degree rotation because that's usually what you're doing. If you have words that come in this way and you need to flip them so they go this way, all you have to do is a 1 touch and not actually touch this 90 times to get it to spin in position. Just a quick touch, you got 180 to 70 and then back to 0. So love the rotation. Okay, next is scaling. So we'll touch this. Now what we have, and you have 2 options. You have a lock option, which means as you touch it, it's going to adjust proportional. That's probably mostly what you're going to use it for. But if you unlock it, that means you can slide it, maybe make it a little skinnier, or maybe a little wider, just depends on which way you're going. Same thing with the arrows. Right now I'm making it only wider, and here I could make it a little shorter. Make it fit into the area that you're working with. One thing I've noticed is sometimes with lettering, let's just put my name in. I'm Sarah, and that is only 4 letters, but you get that same, oh, let's see, I'm still incising. And so go back to, so if you ever touch it and it does something else, it's just because it's not in the mode you thought it was. So here's where I'm in the moving mode, but look what's selected. It's actually the picture of the flower. So if I touch this one here, it will cycle down to my, or toggle between my 2 designs that are on screen. Now with the right one selected, I can move it up and out of the way. So when I go to size or scale it, here's where I can maybe I need to make it a little longer, but I don't need to be taller. But if I had the word or name Jennifer, maybe we need to squeeze her down to fit into the area because she has more letters. So this is another way. You wouldn't lose the proportion of height, but you can change the actual length by squeezing it down. So that's another reason to use the scale. Unproportional. So depending if your lock is on or off, allows you to change that. Okay, last thing is there's a magnifying glass. That's zooming. So let's say what we have here is 3 options that come up when we're in this mode. We have a show everything including the hoop, and that's what's actually showing right now. Now if I touch the next one down, it's going to show just the designs that are on the screen. Now since we have 2 designs, watch what it's going to do. It's going to make everything that's on the screen as big as possible so I can see everything. Then the third one is a zoom in. Now when I touch it, nothing happens until I take my stylus and I touch and drag that dotted square in an area. So if I want to zoom in on this leaf because I'm going to line something up to it, I'm going to touch and drag. I'm holding my stylus on screen and then letting go. then it goes and zooms in on that exact area. A quick zoom out, you can touch either one of these. We'll touch all or the whole entire hoop. That's a quick way. So once again, zoom, touch and drag, zooms in really close to what you're working with, and you can then also, what's called panning, you can slide the paper just a little bit left or right. And that's what the picture of the little hand. It's like you taking that hand and sliding the paper across the screen. I'm going to bounce back out to the widest bit, and this will show you how pan works too, where you're just, nothing is zooming, we're just being able to get to an area to see it better. So that is, and then just make sure you kind of put it back on maybe the moving area. Then that way too, once you get back to selecting a design, then it's going to move, which is probably what you're going to use most. So those are great functions to get used to. And when you're done, if you want to delete everything off the screen, remember touch and hold the trash can that has that little arrow. So if I just touch it once, it's going to delete this, and then I'll have to delete that. But if I touch and hold it, it pops up, delete all designs, green check mark, both designs disappear at one time.